by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
The Austin bomber made a 25-minute cell phone video authorities are calling a confession. I'm Nikki Batiste in Austin with the latest on a possible motive.
Coming up, I take a look at the needs of the Bozeman Fire Department as they adapt to the city's growth.
Good morning, Southwest Montana, 6:31 on this Thursday morning. I forgot what day it was there for just a second, my bad.
Our top story for you now, our serial bomber from Austin, Texas, admitted to the attacks in a lengthy video that he left on his cell phone before he killed himself.
That's right. In all, over a span of 3 weeks, 2 people were killed, 5 others injured. CBS's Nikki Batiste is in Austin with the latest, including what investigators are saying broke the case open and led them to the suspect.
Austin police say 23-year-old Mark Condit, the suspected Austin bomber, left them what they say amounts to a full confession. After killing himself with a bomb at the tail end of a police pursuit in Round Rock, Texas yesterday, officers found his cell phone. On it, a 25-minute recording detailing what he had done.
On this recording, the suspect describes the 6 bombs that he constructed with a level of specificity that he identified the differences among those 6 bombs.
Police say Condit also spoke of a 7th explosive, the one he used on himself. Investigators believe all of the devices he described have been accounted for. Officers raided his home in nearby Pflugerville and found more bomb-making materials.
Explosive experts have been from the FBI, ATF officers working to safely remove and dispose of homemade explosives.
As to the question of why, investigators say the unemployed 23-year-old did not mention anything about terrorism or hate.
It is the outcry of a very challenged young man talking about challenges in his personal life that led him to this point.
Police say Condit's ultimate mistake was dropping off a package at a FedEx store. Authorities say it was there where they identified him wearing a disguise and his truck on surveillance cameras. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, Austin.
Now, law enforcement officials say as a part of their ongoing investigation, they're still trying to determine whether Condit acted alone. So much more to follow on that story. We'll have more at 7 o'clock on CBS this morning.
Such a scary story and a lot more details coming out. Some details coming out about some sunshine today before
There's not going to be much sunshine, I'll tell you that. There'll be some warmer temperatures. That'll be kind of what we're dealing with. And unfortunately, we're fairly warm in the morning. That means that we're seeing a lot of snow melt. That means the flooding concerns are picking up, especially in southern parts of Gallatin, Madison, and eastern Beaverhead counties. We're going to watch the clouds try to roll through, showers possible into the mid to late part of the afternoon. Our temperatures are staying above average for most of the area today. We'll talk about what that may mean for the next couple of days. It's, of course, coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Matt. It is 6:34, and our top local story for you. We have more details about the double homicide that left a Helena couple dead. Lewis and Clark County Sheriff Leo Dutton says investigators are looking for this man, Andrew Duncan, in connection to the murders on Cayuse Road. Now, according to a Department of Corrections website, he is listed as a probation violator. He has a 2017 conviction of criminal possession of dangerous drugs. If you see Duncan, you're asked to contact law enforcement at 406-447-8293.
Meantime, the suspect in a Helena double homicide case was formally charged Wednesday afternoon. Caleb David Taylor, charged with 2 counts of deliberate homicide, 1 count of tampering with evidence. Court documents say the 21-year-old Taylor allegedly killed his parents, David and Charla Taylor, in their home on Sunday. Family friend found the Taylors' bodies Monday night. Court documents say both victims had considerable injuries consistent with blunt force trauma. During the investigation, detectives learned that Caleb was on conditional release on a 2015 burglary charge, was living with his parents. Tuesday afternoon, Taylor agreed to talk to investigators at his parents' home. He admitted that he killed his parents, took jewelry from the home in order to make it look like a robbery. Now, before leaving the scene, he took a shower and removed his bloodstained clothing and an unspecified murder weapon from the scene. Officials say evidence, including the murder weapon, have been recovered. Now, if convicted of the deliberate homicide charges, Taylor faces 2 life sentences in prison. Bond for Taylor has been set at $500,000. He will be arraigned in district court coming up on April 11th.
And Gallatin County commissioners wrote a letter to the Bozeman mayor, Cindy Andrus, asking what the timeline would be like for the city to make a decision on the Law and Justice Center. Mayor Andrus responded to the county commissioner with a letter of her own, saying that the city still needed time. According to this letter, the city commission believes it would need until the end of April to decide if it would team up with the county on expanding or remodeling the current Law and Justice Center, or if the city would break out on its own and build a new public safety center on a property that it already owns on Rouse. Now, the public safety center would house police, municipal courts, and the fire department.
In a related story, according to city commissioners, Bozeman Fire Department Station 1 and 2 need to be relocated to adjust the growing city, or a fourth fire station needs to be built. However, as Morgan Davies explains, adding a fourth station could be very costly.
We've got some structural problems, some heating problems, space problems, just things that have come with the buildings getting older and the city services are growing.
Consultants have evaluated the fire departments and have suggested relocating 2 of the departments to stall the need for adding a fourth fire station, which would come with a high price tag.
That's an annual cost of manning that fire station and providing the equipment of about $1.2 million a year.
But money isn't the only thing commissioners are looking at.
What we want to do is provide a maximum 6-minute response to anywhere in Bozeman that the fire department serves.
Now, if Station 1 was relocated, they would reach that 6-minute response time.
Consultants picked that location due to its proximity to Rouse and Oak, which allows us to get to a lot of places in the city pretty quick.
That property is the one the city already owns and is where the city would also build the Public Safety Center. Although Station 1 is priority now, Station 2 would also need to be moved to reach a better response time.
As we move forward, we would like to look somewhere on campus if possible, if not directly on campus, as close as possible.
Waldo says that there will be a time when a fourth fire station will have to be added, and that would cover the developing areas towards the west. In Bozeman, Morgan Davies, MTN News.
Now, Morgan tells us again the city commissioners say they hope to have an idea regarding plans for a public safety center by April 23rd.
And the Butte School District held its monthly safety meeting to address concerns about safety in schools in the wake of some lockdowns earlier this month. The school district plans to install better public address systems to improve communication and improved locks on exterior and interior doors. The district is also planning a more active shooter training, which has become a priority in the wake of school shootings around the country.
Safety is our priority, and we don't cut corners for it. That safety is always going to be first priority for Butte School District.
Now, Butte holds these safety meetings once a month with representatives from each school. Always a good idea.
Absolutely true.
Go back through the protocol. Coming up after a quick break, our meteorologist Russ Thomas takes a look at our above average snowpack. How will it affect our wildfire season? That's for you in just a moment.
But first, Gail King takes a look at what's coming up at 7 o'clock on CBS this morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS this morning, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg admits to mistakes and plans to make changes in the wake of the data mining scandal. Wired's editor-in-chief Nick Thompson spoke to the CEO yesterday. He's here with new reporting. And Dr. David Agus with what may be behind the recent mumps resurgence and why the vaccine you got may not last as long as expected. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.